Hello everyone, Hadifemi Great here again, and on Friday I dropped a sequel to my initial Djuix project. So Djuix project was a project idea I conceived long ago, and it all aimed around making API creation faster and quicker, allowing us to focus more on front end. So the first version of Djuix was more focused on just pulling up basic projects and allowing you to continue your development when you are done with the basic parts. However, I decided that, okay, I believe we can do more than this. We can do more than just spinning up a Django project and you downloading it. So instead, I went back to the drawing board and come up with a better architecture. And the focus now is you really don't need to just spin up a Django project and download it. Instead, you can spin up a Django project, you can add some layers of complexities, and you can even test your projects without having to even see the code or download it. And after you are done with all this process, you can then download it and continue with your flow. You can then expand it and do more of what you want. So on that note, today we are going to be talking about Djuix in general and quickly go over an example of what Djuix is capable of doing. So yeah, let's venture into this and see what we can achieve. So to get started, you would visit Djuix.io, and once you are in, you are presented with the login and the page. And I'm most proud of this because this is one of those work where I have to kind of imagine how the UI is going to be. And after pushing it out there and getting feedback from people, I feel it's a work in the right direction. So you can scroll through and you can just click in here to watch Djuix in action. Okay, so you click play, you get to see how Djuix functions. Also, you can just have a brief of how it works. So there is a simple animated UI kind of going over what Djuix does, basically. So we have the sign up process, which kind of invites you into Djuix. Then we have create project, because the whole idea of Djuix is you creating Django projects and quickly working up something such that you can test out with. Then finally, you deploy your projects, because this was missing in the initial version of Djuix. And I thought, okay, instead of downloading your project every now and then, why not just have an avenue to test it? And when you're satisfied with what you have, you can then download and move on. So that's about that. And we have the key benefit. I would advise us to go to the website and check out things ourselves. So this is not going to be the focus of today. Instead, we are going to go into the sign-in page. So on visiting the sign-in page, you are presented with this lovely view, which allows you to either sign in with GitHub or with your email address. And I believe most of us as developers, we have GitHub account, and it will most likely be the fastest way to get in here. So I'm going to sign in with GitHub. All right, so I'm done signing in, and here is my account. And what do you want to do after you have signed in is to most likely go into your settings. So yeah, most likely that's not going to be the first thing you do, because as shown on the screen, you have the project and you have the call to action to create one, or the green AI button here. About that though, I think what I want you to do is just come over here, go into the settings, and see how things are laid out. So I'm currently on the Pro version, and these are what I get out of Pro version. And there is a daily start, because I want to make this as easy as possible. I want everybody to be able to use this project. And as such, you still get things. And based on the Pro version, you are limited to AI creation of 20. So you can spin up 20 AI projects in a day. So it's a daily thing, and after the day it's reset and you get your stuff back. And if you want, you can then go into the manage subscription and view more subscription information. You can upgrade from there and you're good to go. So yeah, let's ignore that and come back here. So we have the new project, which allows you to manually create your project. So you specify the name, and this is the manual route. So you go into specifying everything by yourself, or you can make use of the AI project creation. And as the name suggests, you want AI to handle all the nitty-gritties for you. So in today's example, we are going to be using a blog sample. So here is a blog platform. Create a blogging platform where users can sign up, create, edit, and delete posts. So AI is going to take all this into consideration and create a full-fledged Djuix template for you, such that you can use on the fly. So let's put this into action. So yeah, it did create a template. It has a blog project. It has a user app. And within the user app, we have a profile model, a profile service, and a profile view. Then we have the blog app. And within the blog app, we have this. So the blog app handles things like the posts, the comments, and category. So also you can get a better view of what exactly is going on by viewing all this. So the profile stores additional user information. The fields include the user, the bio, the avatar, location, and so on. And you can do this. So like I said, AI is ready to create a template for you. The decision to continue with that template is up to you. So I'm satisfied with this, and as such, I can say continue with this structure. And with that done, this is ready to create a project. So a blog project for creating and managing blog posts. And once you are satisfied with that, you can access the project and see all it entails. So when you open up a project, this is the view you are presented with. So you have your sidebar, which entails information about the home. So the home is where all apps are located. And if you need to go back to your project, you can just come here and you go back to your project. Then you have the settings. So if you are familiar with Django, you know, once you create a Django project, you are presented with a settings file. So this allows you to customize your settings the way you want it to go. So we've also abstracted that same information here, at least the basic ones you would need anyway. So if you come to the settings, you have the basic settings. And the basic settings include things like the debug status. By default, when you are testing, your debug is true. Then allowed hosts. By default, I'm allowing any host. So the route URL config is pointing to the blog project and so on. And if you want, this is what in Djuix V2 has introduced, is viewing code. So you get an idea of exactly what is going on. So just so that you know that this is still within Djuix and not Django, settings file generated by Djuix.io. So you can go over it and see the installed apps, the allowed hosts, and all things associated with this. So you can view all that. So you can edit the code directly. Yeah, I've never thought of putting that. The intention is for you to not write code at all. So yeah, if you need you to be able to edit any settings, it's going to come in as a form of inputs. Then you can close this. You can edit the basic ones. So you can decide to not debug again. You can provide your own secret key. You can provide the language. You can provide the time zone. You can decide if you want to use cross or not, and you can specify a list of allowed hosts. And once you have done, you can either update or just cancel this. Then another settings introduced in Djuix.io is the database config. So the database config allows you to define your database configuration. By default, you are presented with SQLite, which is what Django provides you by default. However, you can edit, you can as well view code. One thing Djuix V2 has introduced here is we are managing your SQLite for you. So you see that you want to introduce a separate DB, or you can actually have a full-fledged based on the SQLite system we've introduced. It allows you to continue creating your projects. However, one limitation is that the data retention feature, such that when you start a server, stop it, make updates, come back again, you still need your data, is not available on the pro version. You might need to go to the expand version to get that. But the idea is when you do something where you add data, or maybe your server stops, when you start it again, the data is still persistent, and you can literally use this to run your project if you want to. So that's the idea. However, if you don't want SQLite and just want to provide your own DB information, you can edit, and you can decide to change your DB from either SQLite to Postgres or MySQL. And when you specify those, you have to fill in the required information, such as the name, the user DB, the password, and so on. So you have that. Same thing with the MySQL. So you can choose MySQL, you get the same information, and you are good to go on that front. The same thing for your files config. Again, Djuix.io allows you to provide your file configuration. By default, it's local. However, we manage the file for you. So the file is managed on S3 on your behalf. So unless you have your own file config that you want to introduce, which you can do by coming here, introducing S3 or Cloudinary, then you are good to go with the local. Okay? Then finally, you can define pagination. So pagination is something important when you are dealing with large data. By default, you have the pagination information of page size of 20. Can decide to reduce this to 10. And these are the things you configure to have your content. So that's the idea. However, I'm going to leave things as default and leave it as 20. So you have this feature. This is just the settings. Then we have the auth. And because the description of this project specifies that a user needs to be able to sign in to create a blog post, an auth system was created out of the box. And based on this auth system, your username field is the email, your access token expiry is 60 minutes, and the refresh token expiry is 7 days. You can update this if you want. So you can decide to change this. However, you should note that the access token is always measured in minutes and the refresh token is always measured in days. So you should have that at the back of your mind. And with the way the auth works, if you want a required field where you are creating an account, this is where you specify those fields. We are not going to be going over that in today's episode. This is just more like a general overview of what Djuix offer. Then that's the basis of auth. Is just as simple as it is. So one of the benefits the auth system introduces is that you get a login, a sign up, and all those view out of the box. So yeah, you're good to go on that ground. And when you're done with everything and you decide I want to download this project and continue from there, because obviously there's still limits to what Djuix can do. And as such, you want to expand on your project. So you have the download link here. This allows you to create a download link that you can come back to anytime you want. And yeah, you can try that, but I won't bother about that for now. So outside all those basic configurations, you have your apps configurations as well. So we have 2 apps in this project. We have the blog app, and just as you have on Django, you have your models. This is going to give you a view of what the models looks like. We have the post model, the comment model, and the category model. And one thing you can quickly do here is to view what the code looks like. So you get to see it. And the category model includes a slot field. And as such, we handle the slot by converting the name into a slot. Then you can view the comment model. The same thing. You can view the post model, the same thing. And we are working on templates created by an AI. If you're not comfortable with this, you can decide to edit it. So you edit the model, so you can't change the name after creating it, but you can change the other parts. So you can either use a UID field or not. You can include the updated art field. So yeah, I think for blogs, we probably need that. Then you can view all the fields, the author, the blog, the title, the content, the category, the slot, if it's published or not. Then you can edit the ordering. So by default, it defaults to ID. However, I want to maybe use the updated art field. Then the direction is going to be descending. That means the latest should come first. Then if you want a unique together field, you can specify those fields here, but I don't think we need that in this case. Then we can update. So that's done. Then we have the serializers as well. So the way serializers work is when you create a model, a serializer is automatically created for you. However, you can still come down here to change it and update however you want. So there we have it. So again, you can quickly view the code and see how the serializer is defined. The same thing for the category serializer. and so on. Then we can come to the views. So again, this is just following the old pattern of Django. We are not reinventing any wheel. We are just trying to make this easier for people to access. So if you are coming from the Django line, this is something you will be able to easily get onto and work out your way into. So again, the post view, we can define the allowed methods. You can do all that. And I can view the code as well. So this is the post view, is the serializer class, the permission classes. So the permission classes is stating that this post view can only either be read-only, that means you are getting, and for you to actually create a post, you have to be authenticated. The query set is the post. The filter, you can filter. So you can filter based on this field. So if you want only publish post to come out, you can do that. You can search. So you can search using the title or the content. The allowed method includes this. So you can get, you can post, you can put, and so on. So that's the idea. However, there's one thing I want to touch in this video. So if you go to the edits, so by default, just try to make a basic CRUD operation available. However, there are some situations where you just want to perform a flow that are not available by default. And I'm going to be using these opportunities to introduce what I called custom function. So this is a feature that was very technical, and I felt this is the way to go. With this in place, this would allow you to create any functionality. Literally, that's the whole idea. And when you click add function, you can choose on what method to override. So maybe I want to just return something else when I make the get operation. So as the name suggests, modify operation, you're modifying the get operation. So you want to define the actions you want to perform within the get operation. And you can see all the actions you have. You have get, so retrieves record from a specific model, check, and return a specific fields value from a record. Then check count, you want to count a record. Create, you can create something within the model. You can update, you can delete, you can do all that. So there is a lot going on with the create action, and we are going to have a lot of video discussing all this in details. So stick to that, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, you should do that. Also, a juice channel will be coming up soon, and yeah, I think that is where all these things in detail would be good to have. Okay, so you can always go back there as a reference to see how things are supposed to be done. So that's about that. And yeah, we'll get to custom function better in the future. So I can delete that function and move on. Then finally, I have the URLs. And the URL, as the name suggests, and using Django as an example, is literally the interface through which your user can communicate with your API. So that's about that. And I think with that, we've literally covered all of what Djuix have put in place. So it looks small, but there's a lot in place to allow you to enjoy creating APIs quickly and just spawning up different startups. Because yeah, that's the idea. The idea is rather than you mocking up data on a front end, you can actually directly integrate from the beginning. Yeah, I think that's a feature you should want to pick up too. And when you have done with all this, when you've done all this, you want to test what you've done rather than downloading, pulling on your local server, testing, seeing that there's an issue, come back here. So you can actually test here and confirm that things are working the way it should. So we shall be to do now. So by my estimation, creating the test server takes approximately 2 minutes. So, and also you don't have to wait for it. So if there's other things you want to do, maybe you're on the plan where you can start multiple servers, you can go back to other projects and do other stuff while this creates on the background. And once it's done, it's going to prompt you that it's done and you can come back to continue your flow. So I'm just going to speed this up and yeah, to where it's already done. All right, so the server is up and running, and you can just click on the link. It's going to transfer you to where the server is running, or you can copy it. Well, most times I think you need this, unless you want to share the link with someone. So clicking on that, if you are familiar with the Django interface, this is what you get. And if you are not, this is what the Django interface looks like. And a feature I'm planning to work on in the future is making it such that you can actually access the admin panel. But for now, you can't. However, you have access to the other endpoints that are associated with your projects. The admin is meant to allow you to manage it, and that's the benefit of Django anyway. So now with blog, you can go into blog, and yeah, you view all this. And the expectation is you can access any of these endpoints within Postman, make posts, view categories, and so on. So yeah, by default, you have pagination in place due to your pagination settings, and you have all that. So that's my presentation. That's the general overview of Djuix. Within a few minutes or seconds sometimes, you've created a full-fledged application that now allows you to focus more on your front end and do things faster. So here we're going to round up here in this episode. However, stick to the channel, subscribe if you've not, because in the coming episodes, we are going to be having different projects. So we have AI tools like V0, we have Claude, we have ChatGPT, we have Bolt.new that can allow you just create your front end, provided I presented them with the API and how it should be used. So yeah, I think it makes sense for us to explore those features, see how fast we can actually create a fully functional project. So thank you guys for sticking around up to this time, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.